Well, hello there, everybody, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do episode 19. No, season 19, episode 7 of Married at First Sight. Let's get into it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, to my nieces and nephews, and all the y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie Televised. Sweet old. It's time for Auntie Televised. Oh, yeah. It's time for Auntie Televised. Well, welcome back, everybody. And this is Auntie. This is episode 7 of season 19 of Married at First Sight. Um, I got something I need to say, right? And I need to start the episode off with it. Because I need y'all feedback on this. And maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I didn't want to put any pictures up, but I need y'all to go back and look and then come back and tell me what you think. Is Will turning more feminine with each episode? When I sat and looked at it, I was like, wait a minute. Where did the earrings come from? The pink lace shirt? At first, he didn't have no earrings on. I don't remember him having earrings on during the wedding. Then I saw one stud, and then I saw two studs. Am I right or am I wrong? I need y'all to help me out downtown in the comment section of whether or not he is starting to look more, I'm just asking for a friend. And then, when I thought about it in episode 1, I think it was, they got married in. Were they one of the first couples? I can't remember. Episode 1 or 2. When they sat down out in the garden right after they did their vows, and she was talking about her fingernails and stuff, and about pink being her favorite color. Did he not say that pink was his favorite color? Chat. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know downtown in the comments section. So I'm not going to be with y'all long tonight on this particular episode, right? We started the episode off with Miss Rhonda. And she was saying that she was defensive and in protective mode, but her and Pat ended up sleeping in the bed together, and that she was grateful and thankful that they were able to have a healthy argument, and they were able to kiss and make up. Rhonda is absolutely an issue. She has an issue, and I don't think that this is what she needed to do. So Pat, was like, okay, how you feeling? And she was like, I think I'm going to go and change. Right. So she decides she's going to change in front of him. And she says, even though we still have a lot of work to do, I think I'm learning. She says, we're both fighting for our future together. And that's something I've been looking for a whole life. She said, change is scary, but I'm really trying to figure out how to make sure you feel safe with me. She said it's been challenging because of her directness, and she doesn't want him to feel like he can't talk to her. And Pat said he appreciate that. He said sometimes it's hard for him to speak up. Rhonda says exactly. That's why it's important that I create that safety net, that safe space where you can open up. If it's not there, I feel like resentment will build, and that's the last thing I want between us. I believe that resentment has already built. Hey, Kevin Jones, Rhonda was looking for problems. I'm perplexed about her. Okay, now, Kevin, I'm gonna let you have that little cuss word, but you're gonna have to take them out, okay? All righty now. Ray Della gonna get you. So Pat was like, so what can I do to help? And she said, I think you should use that doctor what Dr. Pierce suggested when X was said, I felt Y. Instead of you did this, you made me feel that, then the other person can respond calmly. If we can make that a habit, it'll go a long way towards helping us have the hard conversations. And he said that I like that. That feels fair. Less blame, more understanding. And Rhonda was like, okay, exactly. We just have to be intentional about keeping things safe when we talk. So I'm going to ask this of you, gentle reminders, patience, and love. So Pat was like, you got it. I love you. So the next couple that we saw, oh, let me bring them up to the front. No problem, Kevin. No problem, Bookie. Let me bring these people up to the front. Okay, they need to be up in the front where everybody can see them. And this, like I said, this is going to be really short, y'all. So Brittany says that she is realizing that there were things that she needed to get used to coming out of single life into married life. She said, you're going to be doing things you used to think of as chores, but now it's just part of being in a happy relationship. She says, why do I sound like one of those Ewoks from Star Wars? Will said, because you kind of do. So she was like, I'm ready for love. And he was like, okay, whatever. So he's, of course, going to work. And she is basically indicating that they are starting to work out in the intimacy part. It's a shame that she believes that intimacy is, thank you so much, Boo, for the 199 super chat, though, Calvin. Thank you, Boo. Thank you. Um, it's a shame that she is leading with intimacy, because intimacy is a very small portion of your relationship, right? As we can see, it's a very small portion of it, and she is leading all the way with this. And she, the mess that happened in on the honeymoon, where neither one of them had, guarded themselves or protected themselves or whatever the case may have been, really set the tone for the rest of the relationship. She is basically begging Will to be with her, and it's an absolute shame, because instead of her getting to get to know him for who he is and what he is, especially with that pink shirt, I love when I see men with pink on, but lace, it looked like it was like from out of Forever 21. And I was like, okay, so Auntie, are you seeing this or are you not seeing this? Are you making a big deal out of this? Like, Auntie, like, what are you doing? I was like, what are you doing, Auntie? Why are you focused on this? But y'all, I saw it and I just was like, something like this is I'm not implying anything. I'm just asking whether or not you all saw it and what you think about it. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section, because I was like, I ain't got this to do. So they start talking about the soap operas and all of that kind of stuff. And she was like, I'm sorry, I was just trying to figure out what had happened. I honestly thought, Will was like, I thought that soap operas was done. And so he asked her, how was work? She said, I was busier than yesterday. I'm an HR rep and there's always something that's going on. She was like yearly reviews and stuff like that. And so, she decides that she's going to cook for him. She said that cooking is her love language, that she likes to feed people. And so the two of them, she had made a little salmon dinner for them, with veggies and the starch, and he thought that it was good and stuff. And so Brittany was like, Will and I are progressing after our talk with Pastor Cal. We both realized there are things that we need to work on as individuals and things we have to build together. She said it's going to take effort, but I do enjoy cooking and I'm excited to show him my skills. And of course, he went away in this episode because he had to go to work. And, when she was talking to him on the phone, she just kept telling him how attractive he was and stuff like that. So, she is basically getting into him. The two of them had a conversation about her hair shedding. And one of the things that I kept saying is she don't need to be having those cheap bundles. The bundles is cheap. So because the hair is cheap, the hair is going to shed like that. She knew she was going to get married. I think everything about her kind of looks cheap to me. I don't mean no harm. I know that she got a home and stuff like that. And maybe, her beauty regimen is not, it's something that suffers as opposed to paying a mortgage and stuff like that. Being a single woman, right? I understand, you got to make priorities, especially when you making the bills yourself, you pay them yourself. But her hair shouldn't be shedding like that. And the edges is just gone. Like I noticed that like day one, A1, that the edges in her hair is just gone. So, she was like, can you see that my hair is shedding? He was like, it's just hair. And she was like, it doesn't bother you. And he was like, what do you mean by no, it don't bother him? And she was like, I'm glad it doesn't bother you. And he was like, what am I supposed to do? Right? It's nothing I can do about it. So anyway, the two of them, kept talking and all that kind of stuff. And I just was like, okay, whatever. He said that he's going to be gone for a week. He'll be back Thursday evening. And she was like, okay, 3 or 4 days. So Will said, I travel for work because I'm a tech consultant. He said, my dad did the same thing when I was a kid and it worked out fine. But even took trips with his points, but this lifestyle takes two independent people. Brittany has to be okay with him being gone for a few days at a time. And so anyway, they went on, whatever. Josh and Jalen are with Dr. Pia. And I think that and I think I may have said it before, I think that this relationship is gonna crash and burn. When we met Josh had told her that they was gonna have to do a post nup. Now Josh is talking. He's backpedaling off of. He's backpedaling off of this post nup because he believes that she likes her independence. Right now, the relationship is moving smoothly. They got chemistry and all of that. They're affectionate and they're getting more comfortable with each other. But Jalen admits that she's still cautious, having watched her mother struggle to rebuild after divorce. She deeply afraid of repeating that pain. Divorce, even the thought of it makes her anxious, and she wants her marriage to be lasting. So Dr. Pia comes to visit them to guide them through a fun activity designed to test their alignment to see whether or not they agree or disagree on the same thing. So that they had to face the opposite way with their backs to each other, and Dr. Pia was asking different things, right? They had to, if they responded to the prompts, they had to step forward or stay still based on whether or not they agree, disagree, or feel neutral. So when they was asked about the family values, Jalen expressed a positive view of her family, describing her parents as supportive and encouraging. But Josh, right, shared that some family members were more like lessons in what not to do. He was raised by his grandparents. He admired their loving, simple marriage. His grandfather would take his grandmother dancing monthly and stuff like that. He says he wants to emulate that sense of intentional romance. And Jalen agrees it's important that they keep dating each other even after marriage. But when asked about the communicating with the exes and stuff like that, Jalen said that she doesn't follow any of her ex-boyfriends on social media because she prefers having a clear boundary. While Josh admits that he still follows his ex, but seeing that Jayla had a response to it and she was uncomfortable with it, he agreed to stop seeing his person too, his ex, because he was following his ex. And so he said, I won't follow her anymore. There'll be no communication. He then goes on to explain it's about respect and making those stronger. While Jalen appreciates the gesture of this, Dr. Pia highlights it as an example of empathy and proactive trusting. Then the conversation turns to money, and they both say that they're comfortable discussing their finances with each other. Josh had previously mentioned, right, wanting a postnup to protect his assets since he entered the marriage without knowing who his spouse would be. And so Jayla was like, she don't care anything about his money or needing shared accounts. Her mother's experience as a dependent stay-at-home mom motivated her to be fiercely independent. And she says that she wants Josh to add to her life, not financially support it. Josh is moved by her confidence in her integrity, right? And hearing that, he decides not to pursue the post nut. But Dr. Pia was like, wait a minute, so didn't you say that your business partners were the one who suggested this? So he lied. And that is my concern about this, right? Is that he's lying. Okay, wait a minute. I ain't changed their pictures, y'all. I totally forgot. He's lying about stuff. Because why would you lie the first time that I really meet you and have a conversation with you? You are telling me that your business partners or business partner wants you to do a post nup, and now all of a sudden you backpedaling on it. I just think that there's going to be some things that Jayla is going to learn about Josh, based on his the way he grew up as a child and stuff like that. I think that there's going to be some things that she's going to find out about him. I think that her mother is finding out about Chad, and that Chad is just not the guy that she thinks that Chad is. I think that fundamentally there's some things that Rhonda is dealing with. That the her mom is dealing with, right, as it relates to Chad, and about her old relationship with her husband, because there was some things that went on between the two of them when they decided that they were going to be splitting, you know and everything. She had to end up going back to work. And Jalen is always talking about how neither one of them really shows affection. I also think that Chad's slip is slipping. I think that Chad is a great guy, talks a good game and stuff like that. But I think that when it comes down to the nuts and bolts, the doing, I just don't think that that's in Chad. Chad is a walking red flag. He has three failed marriages behind him. He has a great relationship, with his daughter and stuff like that. But I think that she is really seeing that the way that they treat other people, because the way that he handled the staff last week was deplorable. I mean, like it just was horrific. And mind you, we only saw what we saw. We didn't see things that was cut out and stuff like that. Um, but I think that so I don't know, how many of y'all have like dated a man who has wealth. And I'm not talking about rich, I'm talking about wealth, right? Generational wealth, or wealth that they've built over the years. And especially when the guy is older, right? You could tell a lot about him and where he is by how he treats other people. because you can say a lot about how you love me, how you feel about me, but fundamentally, how do you treat other people? That turned her off, and it has not left her. It's not left her. But again, Belinda has a whole bunch of stuff too about the relationship with her ex-husband. These people are coming with serious baggage. We don't ever know what's going to be coming out of Rhonda. Rhonda needs her space. She feels smothered by Pat, and it is just unfortunate. I don't know what's going to happen in the next episode, but I am here for what you say, boo. Red flags all over the place. Absolutely. Um, Anyway, that is the end of this review. I know it's usually detailed. It'll be detailed again next week. I am so behind with my videos, y'all. Oh my God, I'm so behind. But I promise you all, I will be making sure that you all get all the information, even if I got to do recordings, because I'm looking at my schedule and all of the things that I have to do and the shows that I have to cover. And I really think that I'm going to have to start doing some uploads. I know y'all don't like it because y'all like to get in the chat and chitty chat and stuff like that with each other. But I'm really kind of reassessing some of the stuff that I'm looking at and watching. I really want to get Sister Wives done because Cody has gotten on my last nerve with this bull crap and this fake stuff, and I've got to talk about it. But anyway, I'll be right back. Give me about, you know what, give me about 3 minutes and we're going to be talking about the Braxtons. I am catching up with that. Hey, Nathan, love you too. So, y'all, make sure y'all notification bells are on. We'll get back to the detail review. But for right now, let me get this Braxton stuff out the way because we about to catch up on this bull crap. I got a whole lot to say. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stick around and wait for your notification bells to go off. Okay. I love y'all. Oh, and thank you so much. Wait a minute. Thank you so much, Kevin Jones, for the $1.99 super chat. Bye, y'all.